Oracle Database at AWS. Service responsibilities for Oracle Database at AWS. After completing this lesson, you should be able to describe Oracle and AWS services for Oracle Database at AWS. Describe how technology has transferred more responsibility to services, and be able to describe the share responsibility model for Oracle Database at AWS. Oracle Database at AWS is a collaboration between Oracle as well as AWS. It allows the customer to deploy and run Oracle Database services, including the Oracle Autonomous Database and the Oracle Exadata database service directly in AWS data centers. It's important to understand the services offered by Oracle as well as from AWS for this service, as it will help understand in onboarding the service. It'll also help users effectively utilize the product's functionality. Let's start with the services available through Oracle. Oracle provides the ability of having the Oracle Exadata database service on a dedicated infrastructure. The service delivers full capabilities of Oracle Exadata database on the Oracle Exadata hardware. It offers high performance and high security for demanding workloads. It has cloud automation, resource scaling, and performance optimization to simplify the management of the service. Oracle Autonomous Database on the dedicated Exadata infrastructure provides a fully autonomous database on this dedicated infrastructure within AWS. It automates the database management tasks, including patching, backups, as well as tuning, and have built-in AI capabilities for developing AI-powered applications and interacting with data using natural language. The Oracle Database at AWS integrates those core database services with various AWS services for a comprehensive as well as a unified experience. Looking at the AWS service, there are many. Let us first start with AWS's Amazon EC2 and the Amazon VPC integration with the compute as well as the network infrastructure within AWS. In addition to the compute instance that you see here, you also have the capability of storage. AWS provides the ability of having a cloud-based object storage, and that would be the Amazon S3. You also have the ability to have other services, such as the Amazon CloudWatch. It monitors the database metrics as well as performance. And in addition to that, you also have Amazon Bedrock. It provides a development environment for a generative AI application, which is really a wonderful integration with where we are with all our AI features. And last but never least, amongst the many other services, you also have the SageMaker. This is a cloud-based platform for development of machine learning models. Again, a wonderful integration with our AI application development needs. When we take a look at the evolution of how things have changed through the years in our systems, we realize that transfer responsibility has now been migrated more from customer or human interaction to services. As the database technology evolves from the traditional on-premise system to the Exadata engineer system, and finally to the autonomous database, certain services previously requiring significant manual intervention has become increasingly automated as well as optimized. When we take a look at the more traditional database environment, it requires manual configuration of hardware, operating system, as well as the software of the database, along with initial database creation. As we evolve into the Exadata environment, the Exadata database, specifically the Exadata Cloud Service, simplifies provisioning through web-based wizard, making it faster and easier to deploy the Oracle database in an optimized hardware. But when we move it to an autonomous environment, it automates the entire provisioning process, allowing users to rapidly deploy mission-critical databases without manual intervention or DBA involvement. So as customers move toward autonomous database through Exadata, we have fewer components that the customer needs to manage in the database stack, which gives them more time to focus more on important parts of the business. With the Exadata database, it provides a co-management of backup, restore, patches, and upgrade, monitoring, and tuning. And it allows the administrator the ability to customize the configuration to meet their very specific business need. With Autonomous Database, it's now fully automated, and it's a greater responsibility is shift toward the service. With Autonomous Database on dedicated infrastructure, it provides that fine-grained tuning more for Oracle to help you perform that task. Shared responsibility. When we take a look at Oracle Database at AWS, it operates under a share responsibility model, dividing the service responsibilities between AWS, as well as Oracle, as well as you, the customer. Let's take a look at which one we are each responsible for or jointly responsible for. When we take a look at the AWS has the data center. Remember, this is where everything is running. The Oracle database at AWS, the Oracle database infrastructure, may be managed by Oracle and run in OCI, but is physically located within the AWS regions as well as the availability zones and the AWS data centers. The AWS infrastructure, in this case, is AWS's responsibility to secure the environment, including the physical security of the data center, the network infrastructure, and the foundational services like the compute, the storage, and the networking, all within AWS. When we take a look at the next thing of who's responsible for the share responsibility, we notice that it's Oracle, and that would be the hardware. We provide the hardware. While the hardware may physically reside in the AWS data center, Oracle's cloud infrastructure operational team will be the one managing this infrastructure, including software patching, infrastructure update, and other operations through a connection to OCI. This means Oracle handles the provisioning as well as the maintenance of any of the underlying Exadata infrastructure hardware. When we take a look at the next thing that it manages, it is also responsible besides the infrastructure of the Exadata, it is also the ability to manage the hardware, the environment of that hardware through the database control plane. So Oracle manages the administration and the operational for the Oracle database at AWS service, which resides in OCI. So this includes the capabilities for management, upgrade, and operational features. That brings us to the customer's responsibility. When we take a look at the customer responsibility, we might notice the first thing is the Exadata infrastructure. You may notice there's an asterisk next to that. Well, that's because this is really a co-responsibility between Oracle, OCI, and you, customer. While the Oracle OCI manages the DOM0, the customer is responsible for configuring their guest operating system, the database, and the application that runs in the Oracle database at AWS service. Just a reminder, the DOM0 is also known as Domain 0. It's a secure, special purpose Linux virtual machine that basically starts up first on boot. It runs the management tools and provides access to hardware like the networking and the storage for the individual virtual machines. The next, besides the infrastructure, which we do a share, you now notice the next thing would be the virtual machines. Okay, I want to draw your attention when you see it's sort of both. When you look at the Exadata cloud service environment, and that would be on the left side in the column, you, the customer, is responsible for managing the virtual machine. You not only create it, you provision it, but you also manage it, as well as the grid infrastructure. While in an autonomous environment, the Oracle will then manage the underlying hardware as well as the hypervisor. With the autonomous, Oracle manages the entire stack, the VMs, the cluster, as well as the grid infrastructure. When we take a look at the next thing, which will now be the database software, as well as the container database, in an Exadata environment, again, the customer is responsible for patching and upgrading the operating system and the database software. However, in an autonomous environment, it is Oracle who will handle all the patching, upgrade, and the tuning of the database software. But regardless if you are in an Exadata environment or in an autonomous environment, it is you, the customer, who's responsible for most of the database administration operation, as well as managing the users and the privileges of the user to access the database. No one knows the database and who should be accessing the data better than you. So regardless if it's running in an Exadata or an autonomous environment, you, the customer, will be responsible for securing the applications, the data of the database, which now allows you to define who has access to it, control the data encryption, and securing the application that interacts with the Oracle database at AWS. In this lesson, you learn how to describe the Oracle as well as the AWS services or Oracle database at AWS. You learn how technology has transferred more responsibilities from the person to the services. And you also learn the shared responsibility models for Oracle database at AWS, where AWS, Oracle, as well as the customer will jointly be responsible for certain tasks to ensure the success of running Oracle database at AWS. Thanks for watching. Oracle database at AWS. Oracle Database Services or Oracle Database at AWS. After completing this lesson, you should be able to describe what Exadata Database Service is, as well as Autonomous Database Services for Oracle Database at AWS. You should also be able to describe what automated scaling is in Oracle Database Services. Oracle Database Services in Oracle Database at AWS. There are two database services that are supported for Oracle databases: your Autonomous Database, as well as your Exadata Database Service. Now, they both run on the Oracle database. This is the Oracle Database Service dedicated infrastructure service. So they both run on the same. So what makes them different? Both databases, even though they run on the same Exadata cloud infrastructure, both can be deployed on both public cloud as well as the customer data center, which is Oracle Cloud at Customer. What makes them different? When we look at the Autonomous Database, the Autonomous Database has the following. It is a fully managed, completely automated environment, and this provides a capability of having a fully autonomous database service running on a dedicated Oracle Exadata infrastructure within your AWS data center. When you take a look at the Exadata is a service that is provided and managed by Oracle and is physically running in the AWS data center, but is designed for mission-critical workload. It includes rack environment, real application cluster, offering a high performance availability and full feature capability that is similar to other Exadata environments, such as those running in our customer's data center. The primary difference is really between the two services. It's the following, besides the manageability. When you take a look at the Exadata, the customer only pays for the compute resources that is used. Auto-scaling can be used for a variety or variable resources, the workload, to automatically scale to the compute resources up or down when required. The Autonomous Database also has automatic optimization for data warehousing, transaction processing, as well as JSON workload. When you look at the Exadata, it also has similar capability. The Exadata service, the customer, again, also pays for the compute resources that they allocate. But that's the key thing. The customer can initiate the scaling because it's very specific to the workload that is needed. So when you take a look at the two database services, one gives the ability to let Oracle fully manage it, including the scaling capability. The other, the Exadata, provides you the capability of having the environment that it's running on, the infrastructure, be managed by Oracle. But as a database administrator, you may wish to have a little bit more granular control of how you want the database to not only be scaling, but how you wish to customize how the database will be running. Let's take a look at the Autonomous Database a little bit more. The Autonomous Database on the Oracle database at AWS brings the power of the Oracle's self-managing, self-securing, and self-repairing database into your AWS environment. It provides the capability of the database automatically automate many of the traditional, complex, and time-consuming database management tasks, such as the provisioning of the database, the patching, the backing up, and the scaling, and the performance tuning, reducing the need for any manual intervention by the database administrator. Running the Autonomous Database in your AWS region enables low latency access for your AWS applications and services that is deployed within AWS, thus improving performance and response time. With the Autonomous Database, it automates many of the traditional things that is now automatically done by Oracle. It also supports integration with various AWS services, such as the ability of not in addition to AIM, but the CloudFormation, the CloudWatch for monitoring, and the S3 for the storage. You can easily migrate existing Exadata workload, including those running on Oracle RAC, to AWS with minimum or no change to any of your databases or applications. In addition, there's a really powerful capability and feature of the database is called Zero ETL, and that's Zero Extract, Transformation, and Load. It's an integration capability with services like your Amazon Redshift, enabling near real-time analytics and machine learning on your transactional database that is stored within the Autonomous Database in your AWS environment. So here you can see that with the Autonomous Database, it checks off many of the boxes for automatic capability, securing, tuning, as well as scaling the database. With the Autonomous Database in the dedicated Exadata infrastructure, the Exadata Cloud Infrastructure resource represents the physical system, which can be expanded with storage as well as compute services to compute hosts. This now provides the ability to have an isolated zone for the highest protection from other tenants. The data is stored on a dedicated server only for one customer. That would be you. The virtual machine, these are the Autonomous VM machine, or as we refer to them as the cluster, includes the grid infrastructure and provides a private network isolation. This provides you the capability of having custom memory, cord, and storage allocation. The Oracle Grid infrastructure includes the Oracle Clusterware, which manages the cluster, as well as the servers and ensure that the database can fail over to another server in case of any failure. With the Autonomous Container database, and you need that if you're going to create an Autonomous Database, you need to provision that within your Autonomous Exadata VM cluster. It serves as a container to hold or to house one or more autonomous databases. This allows multiple autonomous databases to coexist in the same infrastructure while still being logically separated. And this allows for the separation of databases based on their intended use. Think of a database for production. Think of a database for development. Think of a database for testing. You even may have different database versions within the same infrastructure. This isolation makes it easier for you to be able to meet your SLA, your service level agreement. Any long-term backups, you may have very specific encryption key needs to prevent issues from one database impacting another. So the ability to have everything be isolated and secure is still grouping it in a manner that will meet your business needs.